Alright. Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to Wanderbot trying to pick a good gun combo for Entite, because he really wants to win with Entite someday. And soon. I think I've been playing, like, purely Entite for a very long time. And, like, on one hand, it's probably bad for me to do so. On the other hand, gotta do it. Gotta get there. That said, I don't actually believe that this combo is going to do particularly well. Unfortunately, the nail gun is just a little bit too short range for Entite, considering how low his health is. But still, could be better, could be worse. Honestly, probably just kind of be like medium level the entire way through. If I can get multiple jackhammers, maybe it's possible, just because infinite, complete suspension would probably help substantially, but make no promises. Anyway, let's see if I can free these mooks for the murdering. There we go. Welcome to the murdering. Population, your face, and everything else. Okay, yeah, for whatever reason, whenever I start up the OC Remix radio, the music always just chugs out. Just once. I should probably go through and just download every single OC Remix song, curate it all, and figure out what exactly is good to listen to. That said, I kind of enjoy the radio just because it's super unexpected, and it's, you know, easy to be like, oh man, that's a song I really want to hear, and then I never get to hear again because... Well, either way, at least we got a clump of iron right off the bat. If I can get me a Dracul blood and a couple hearts of Belial, we might actually be able to make a good run out of this yet. That said, the moment we have to fight that goddamn eyeball, everything bad happens to us forever. Everything. Seriously, that eyeball is not fun to fight when you're Entite. If we're underwater, it's actually pretty doable just because suspension, like I don't have to worry about impacting on his body. But, otherwise... Don't even know. Let's see. I've never seen this game. It is called Cavern Kings. It's one of those roguelikes that not a whole lot of people have heard of. It didn't really get the, like, big name support. I think the current, like, top player for this game is Sleep Cycles, followed by me, which is saying something. And, you know, that probably means that, like, Bisnap, or somebody is probably going to cover it fairly soon. Probably in the next patch, honestly. Like, if this game gets online multiplayer soon, it's probably going to have a huge resurgence in player base. Because it kind of came out with a... I'm not going to say a whimper, but it definitely came out with like a... there was no bang associated with this game coming out. And I actually really wish I had gotten into it when it did come out, because it is probably one of my more favorite games. I know that's not exactly proper English, but still. It is one of the games that I enjoy a little bit more to play, just because it's like... It's sort of relaxing. I can put on... you know, music, because the sound effects in this game aren't separated from the music, and that's bad, but still. But still. Let's see. Question, what type of artist is Wander? I'm an illustrator. Do game art? I don't know, mostly 2D. A little bit of 3D. I'm trying to do more 3D. It's kind of fun. Mainly because I feel like if I can get some 3D under my belt, I can start making some really cool game stuff. Let's just keep going though. Unfortunately, 3D is like a wildly different beast, so there's no way to like cross over those skills. Apart from texture painting is amazing if you're looking to get into like 3D and you only have like a 2D background. So that's what I'm trying to learn if I get the chance here. These guys are dumb as bricks. I don't want to piss off the TNT there either. That would suck. Explode immediately. Anyway, but yeah. I am a 2D digital illustrator. I guess the digital part is pretty important. I don't really do a whole lot of like oil paintings or anything like that. It's just not my jams. It is also just, I don't know. I don't like the setup or cleanup. I'm very lazy when it comes to like my artistic process. It's just like, all right, how little setup can I do? So I actually find myself preferring Illustrator to a large degree, just because Illustrator is way easier to set up than Photoshop, because my tablet is a massive honking beast, which is, you know, great on one hand, but at the same time, oh, dicks. Come on. I'm like wasting my health here trying to get these items. That said, they are very crucial items, so... Oh, right, I do have a Heart of Belial, so... Assuming we can actually survive with this for a while, we're in a good spot. And that was TNT up there, wasn't that? Yeah, it was. Oh, well. Level gen sometimes is just very unkind to all of the enemies. I'm noticing, like, we keep running into versions that are, like, stuck and can't get down to get to me. That is... I feel bad for them. Sort of. Not really, but still. I feel like I have to free them. And then murder them, but mostly free them. Give them at least a sporting shot at getting to my face. Anyway. I also really hope they rebalance Entite just a little bit. Because honestly, I cannot see like a casual player doing particularly well at even getting to this far on Entite. It is just not easy to do. Oh, nope, don't even want that business. Because like, C4 is just brutal right now. It would blow me the hell up. What program do I use for 3D? I use 3ds Max, actually. I've still got an educational thing. Because I've mentioned on the stream before that I used to belong to like a student organization and stuff that was like kind of nerd frat, and like as a result of it, I still have a completely functional like student account no matter how old I get, which is nice. Means I have a lot of student discounts that I will never stop having. It feels kind of cheap, but let's be honest here. 3D programs are fairly expensive. Especially for, like, just regular end users. I don't think that's particularly fair. Anyway, let's see what I want to do. What do we even need at this point? Draco Blood would be amazing. Double Drill would be nice, because anything to make me fall slower would be perfect. I should probably also look into getting the lore book. Was the Ancient Tome? I don't even know. There's another item in this game that I haven't actually unlocked yet, because you can only get it once you've unlocked all of the golden guns, and as it stands, you can't unlock any of the golden guns. Oh shit, you are zippy. Well, now you're dead. The fast? And the dead. Mostly the dead, but still. Yeah. I really would like to like learn the ins and outs of every 3D program. Honestly, as far as like 3D programs go, I actually prefer Blender. I think Blender is by far the best on the market now in terms of like basic usability and like learning. The problem is it just does not have the upper limit of like skill cap wise that 3ds Max does, or the applicability for like most jobs. Because like most people aren't looking for a 3D modeler that knows Blender. They're looking for a 3D modeler that knows you know, 3ds Max or Maya, or both, preferably. I like ZBrush, but ZBrush is, like, not very efficient. Like, if there was a low-poly ZBrush type deal, I think I would really enjoy that. I know you can kind of, like, hack job ZBrush into being, like, a low-poly type thing, but it's not nearly as good as, you know, I'd like it to be. And I think originally I learned how to 3D model in Maya, but I didn't like it so much. I'm still not up there. There we go. This is very, very hard to, like, teleport into small places. The cursor is, for whatever reason, requires a huge amount of precision. For only that. And I don't like it. Oh, well. Let's grab this treasure chest while we're up here. Hey, Heart of Belial. Yeah, the more health I get, the better off we're going to be. Especially because we're going to be off fighting a boss on the next floor. And that scares me a little bit. At least we've got the McDonald's arches to... Oh, shoot. Cannot take damage here. We've got McDonald's to help us out. So, hopefully that will translate to some amount of success here. I'm worried about the chest, though, if I'm going to be able to get it. Probably. Oh, shit. I'm actually taking damage there. I didn't even realize he was still alive. Unfortunately, they blend in very well with the background. Fuck. Yeah, we're probably just going to get murdered. I'm not keen on that. Come on, health. Come back. I think I've got at least a couple of more mole's orchids here. Well, down we go. What? Alright. I don't even pretend to know what killed me there. I went for the edge. Oh, you know what? There was probably one of those cross blocks that blows up. That's annoying. So what combo do we want? We want Jackhammer and Saw Blades. I actually have not done Jackhammer Saw Blade combo yet with his character. I don't want to do Harpoon. Harpoon isn't good enough. I'm gonna take a drink, too. We'll see how it goes. Like, the thing is, I think, like, I think that would actually be the perfect combo, just because it does, like, an insane amount of damage. Oh, hey, Killer Q. How's it going? Because the drill cannon is nice. The Like, the nail gun is really good, but the problem with the nail gun is purely it just doesn't do enough. It doesn't have enough range, and like, if there's a way of increasing your range, it would be perfect. But there's nothing there as far as that goes. But if not that. Yeah, so the drill cannon is good, but it doesn't have quite the base damage that you need. It also does not have the fire rate that you need either. The TNT sling is completely worthless for N-Type. Your health is just too low. It's just not, it's not doable. Either way. Let's see what else I want to do. Q13, I guess it is. Okay. Come on. Please give me what I want. I'm flabbergasted that I haven't even seen the saw blade launcher in like 4 episodes now. Also, hey Roxy, how's it going? Come on, saw blade launcher? Close enough. There are two guns that I will take. Well, this gun I will take pretty much no matter what for every single run, just because of how much I enjoy using it. It is too much fun to use. It's just very basic. I don't know, like, it doesn't do that much damage comparatively. You know what it does, actually? I didn't really realize that, but the tick damage is quite high. Doesn't do as much as the saw blade or the TNT sling. Or the harpoon gun, in terms of, like, pure damage. But if you can do, like a split shot and stuff like that, it would work fairly well, I think. Anyway, come on. Blow up for me. I also like the fact that, this gun is the only gun that actually, like, strikes straight through on enemies, or not quite straight through. I guess the harpoon gun does have it too. Like, once it's done actually damaging the enemy, it keeps going. I really like that. I don't know. It's just kind of a unique. It feels unique at the very least. Probably isn't. Unfortunately, we're not getting any power-ups here, because we have until distance 5,000 to get something. Oh shit, there is actually something there. Not much. Just 1 box. Good. I also really hope they change it so, you know, if you're playing N-Type, you don't get the flying bracer, or it gives you some kind of benefit. Like, actually, I think I mentioned this at least 1 or 2 runs ago, but if you could get the flying bracer to slow your descent, I think that would be perfect. Because, like, as it stands, it's completely worthless for N-Type, for obvious reasons. Can't jump, doesn't matter. I'm gonna hang out. We might have a second set of enemies show up fairly soon. There's the question about whether or not they're gonna survive. That's another thing, but still. But, like, as it stands, N-Type falling is actually kind of dangerous. Like, N-Type, it's way better if you're N-Type, just if you can hang out in the air as long as possible. But, well, it's still dangerous. And, well, any jump-related items are just going to be meaningless as well. Okay, so critical hits infect enemies with paralyzing curse. Unfortunately, that doesn't really do a whole lot of good. What we need... the last run was perfect, except for the gun choice. Also, the fact that we just randomly died, so there's that, too. Let's see. Okay, come on. Blow up for me. Thank you. I don't know. Been stiff lately. I think I need to go outside. Unfortunately, like... I'm waiting for it to get, like, warm again, because I don't want to... I don't like walking when it's, like, 20-30 degrees out, or when it's, like, particularly windy and cold. Because I truly prefer... Oh, well, I guess that's gone already. I truly prefer going out for, like, walks when it's at least spring, summer, or fall. And, like, trying to go for a walk in the middle of the winters, it's cold. And, like, unless there's something really you want to look at, it's not even that pretty. Oh, shoot, we made a hole to dump them down. I really wish you could actually, like, patch things over or something like that. Hard to tell. Okay, as long as I hang it on this side, they will still come for me and not fall down said hole. Because that would be kind of interesting if you could actually, like, lay down blocks. Because, I mean, seeing as everything is destructible, why not make things constructible as well? Even though that's not exactly the spirit of the game. It can be kind of useful from time to time. Build barricades and stuff. And they are dead. Well, that pretty much makes this meaningless. Finally, our first treasure chest. Oh, I didn't actually realize we got the knife pickup. Well, dicks. Alright. sometimes things just start exploding. I'm just gonna let the homesick shard. This is not gonna be a winnable run. I can call that already. I mean, we might make it, but like the fact that we have a pair of extra jumps right off the bat does not help us at all. This is a pain. Yeah, no, I would love to move to California. Actually, I got another another sort of interview request. I need to respond to it, but yeah, another job out in like San Francisco area, being like, hey, yeah, we'd love to interview you, and I'm like, please be serious about me for once, because like every time I seem to like get a job interview request, it's like, all right, we're interested in you. Never mind, we're only sort of interested in you, and it's like, I guess, sort of. Let's get out of there before everything kills me. And keep going from there. And like, I'm totally glad to be getting like job offer type stuff, or not job offers, like interview, potential interview type stuff. But at the same time, come on, let me get it. There we go. Okay, but at the same time, I would, God, it's very hard to keep like dealing with job applications and getting your hopes up like over and over and over again. And like, I can totally empathize with people that like just kind of lose faith in finding a job. Because it is very frustrating to, like, get so close and then just be like, nah, never mind. It's like, I feel like I rant about or talk about job stuff too often. But, like, honestly, I feel kind of bad about this. And, like, I've talked to Shell about this, and she's, like, kind of grumpy at me. Because there are two things I talk about at this point. YouTube and job stuff. And mostly it's YouTube, because, like, job stuff sucks if you don't have a job. There we go. It is very finicky about getting me in there. Okay. And so like when I'm talking to Shell, 90% of the time I'm like, hey, you know, let's talk about this cool thing that's, you know, happening to me YouTube wise. She's like, I'm sick and tired of hearing about you and YouTube. I was like, I'll be honest with you. What else do you want me to talk about? How many resumes I've sent off at this point? There are many. I don't know. It's a weird predicament. I think it's also one of those where it's like, you kind of talk about the things that you're interested in life. And like, for me, healthily or unhealthily, video games are kind of like one of my main things that I will just always be interested in talking about. And like, I feel bad about it, especially with, like in conjunction with non-gamers, but it's just sometimes kind of difficult to like, I'm not going to say identify with people that aren't gamers, but it's a lot easier to identify with actual gamers that like know about X game. The eyeball thing popped up right inside of me. Good. Okay, don't want to blow that thing up. That's where sadness happens. Let's just take the sort of long way over here. I'm just going to let the enemies stack up. I can murder them when I come out. I was really hoping I could actually get 1 or 2 power-ups here. Somehow did not take damage from that. Strange. Alright. Well, oh, hello. We need you. Unfortunately, we're probably going to die in the next, like, 5 seconds. As a result of the many, many rock creatures that seem to be inhabiting this area. Okay, nope. But there's that. That is kind of frustrating. Okay, so we got the golden vigor beetle, which is super useful, assuming we can actually, you know, put it to good use. Because the vigor beetle gives you health per kill. Unfortunately, we're about to go fight the boss in 1 turn. Why? There's not even a treasure chest in here. We're not in a good way. I'll figure it out. But we're definitely not in a good way. Because, yeah, we don't even have the poison thing. That poison thing, like, wrecks. At least I can charge up my drills, which does a lot of damage. In retrospect, that might actually kind of save me here. I do not walk fast underwater, though. That's for certain. Hey, that's also going to be useful. I don't even have a Heart of Belial, do I? Yep, no healing. I gotta be careful with the amount of damage I take or do not take. Still. Okay. A little bit more, a little bit less. Come on, just wreck straight through them. Gotta say, those drills are amazing at just clearing through enemies, though. Okay, as long as I don't get totally wrecked here, I think we're fine. Let's go. I'm not powerful here. But that's okay. As long... I mean, that battery is actually going to make it a lot easier. to dodge. Okay, come on. Give me health. 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 Where the dicks am I? At least I'm not dead yet. Oh, I'm not dead yet. And I got double shovel. Alright, there we go. Whew. Risky business, but we made it. What the... Oh, that's one of our drills just freaking out right there. Ooh, hello. You are massive. Unfortunately, we are still not in a very good position, but at least our maximum health is going up. Okay, let's see what I want to do. And that blows up anyway. Must have been that homesick shard, because I did not do that. Hello. Scattershot with a battery. And there was a treasure chest on this level. Not anymore. Could be better, could be worse. Let's get our health back. And I think Scattershot actually interferes with the battery. Because I'm definitely not shooting the, like, Mondo drills anymore. Yep. I'm not. That's strange. Not bad. But it's a bit frustrating. If I want to be able to do, like, that massive amount of damage. Oh, well. Could be worse. Unless they actually do that amount of damage anyway. It's just the visual size and hitbox. Could be worse. Oh, right. I think I heard about that, actually. That it would actually end up shrinking. If you have the battery and the scattershot, it would end up making your stuff super small. Well, either way. Let's get this down. Blast you. Get my ill-gotten gains. Yeah, there we go. Oh, man. Now people are talking about coding. I need to learn how to, like, properly program in C# or something like that. Really what I need to do is learn how to make, like, my own game in, like, in Unreal or something. Like, if I could properly program a game in 3D in Unreal, I think I would be, like, in a really golden position. Then again, I do know programmers, so maybe it's just a matter of actually sitting down and being committed to a game for once. So there's a lot of situations where it's like, me and one other guy are like, yeah, let's make a game, and then it just never really happens. That's kind of an unfortunate thing about, like, going into indie. It's like, you may know people, you may know motivated people, but just, it's so hard. The more people you have, unless, like, it's their, like, actual job, or they're already committed, it's very hard to get people, like, on board with any kind of, like, personal projects you want to do. So, like, I mean, this kind of applies to YouTube and a lot of other things, too. So, for example, when I was starting this, it was, like, me and Shell, and it's like, yeah, you know, this is going to be great. And then eventually it's like, Shell didn't really have a whole lot of skin in the game. And so, you know, didn't really do it as much. And it's like, alright, fine, you know. And honestly, I made a lot of, like, strides as a result of that, and, you know, here I am. But, oh, that's actually a key. Yes. Oh, what? Well, door's open. But so, like, it's hard to get people motivated, especially when, like, not everybody is as interested in said project either. So I used to do game jams with people. And unfortunately, the problem with the game jams was, like, if you've ever done a game jam, usually it's like 4 to 5 people that have never worked together before. And so what ended up happening was, like, we had one primary coder that pretty much did everything, and a bunch of, like, really junior coders that were, like, just largely incapable of making a game on their own, much less, like, competently. So we actually had one project where I think it was the first game jam I ever did, where we got together, did our planning session, and then one of the programmers was like, oh yeah, I forgot, I'm going out to a party tonight. This is, like, first night of the, this is the first night of the game jam, and she was, like, the veteran computer science student. We had, like, one freshman game designer, and, like, 2 other people, and, like, one guy that was going from computer security over into computer science, because he was realizing that computer security wasn't for him. And so, oh man, actually, if you remember my story about the, like, weird doppelganger girls, this is the like, older doppelganger with a slight amount of facial hair. That was from, like, the Valentine's Day episode, I think it was. But so she says to us, you know, oh, by the way, I'm going out, even though, like, she had, like, a huge amount of hand in, like, organizing everything. Hell, she actually put the team together. It was like, hey, yeah, you know, we need you, and the... Oh, dicks. And so what ends up happening is she goes out to the party, and she's like, no, it's okay. I won't drink, and I'll be back by, like, 10. Mind you, this is, like, 6, 7 o'clock. So it's like, alright, you know, 4 hours, start of the project, we can get the framework going, and then, you know, no problems, right? Well, she doesn't come back at 10. She doesn't come back at 9. She doesn't come back at 11. She doesn't come back until 3 in the morning. And she's completely shit-faced. At which point she sits down and starts trying to feel up the freshman game designer, who's like honestly one of the more awkward dudes on the planet. I don't actually know if he's ever been in a relationship in his life. Even today, I don't actually remember if he ever had a girlfriend. In college, definitely not while I was around. But so, that's a bomb. There goes that treasure chest. Oh, well, I can get it on the next floor. But so, she's being like really loud and obnoxious to the point where it's like, you know, we honestly can't even work with her, much less like work around her. So this is become a problem. Suddenly it's a 3-man team. But you know, fine, soldier on. And she's like, eventually she sort of she like sobers up. I was like, you know, I'll be back tomorrow, because we're like, you know, we really do need you on this one. And at which point she goes home. I think her boyfriend at the time drove her back. So it's like, alright, fine. You know, we'll have her for the second leg when we're all tired. Because if you've never done like a global game jam, you don't sleep. It's just 48 hours of like making a game, which is really cool. Assuming you can have like a proper group for it. The problem being, so she goes home, and so we're all tired and we're a little cranky because suddenly the team is effectively, I'm not gonna say fucked so much as just like in trouble, because I'd never done like game art before, and honestly, I was a sophomore at the time, and like, you may think my art is pretty good like right now, but like my art even sophomore year is really quite shitty. I mean, passably good, and like I had my moments, but it wasn't brilliant or anything like that. And so the problem we ran into was just like the one guy that was going from computer security to computer science just simply could not handle it. So he was mostly just like he was mostly kind of like an advisory role. And then the other problem is like, so if you've ever done like collaborative programming, and well, I haven't. But I at least know about this. There's a system called Git, which is like a way of, oh, dicks, before you kill me. Please don't kill me. Thank you. We're very close to death, though. There's not a whole lot of places to teleport to in that situation, was there? No siree. Hello, Tesla Coil. You're gonna make my life easier. So will you, Mr. Clump of Moss. If it actually heals you. Okay, that helps. That helps a lot. So we also decided that we'd actually do Git for like proper programming procedure, because the way you use Git is like you make a change to the program that you want to go into like the final version, and you commit it. So usually everybody works on like a different part, so they don't like interfere with each other. But this way, like if somebody breaks something horribly, you can actually go back to like a previous version and not be totally screwed. Problem being, this was all in the insistence of, I don't even know what killed me there. I don't even know where I died. But so this is all at the insistence of, you know, Party Girl. So Party Girl was like, yeah, let's do Git. I'll teach you guys how to do it. Now, mind you, she leaves 3 hours into the process, just after we've like settled down and like properly figured out, you know, once we figured out properly what the game's going to be. So she leaves, and we're like, all right, we're doing Git. You know, she already set it up, and we're already tied to this. Let's keep going. And of course, things go wrong. So, I think the part where she, like, sobered it up enough, I think this was around 5 in the morning, mind you, to help us out, was to fix Git for us, so at least the developer and the security guy could at least figure out how to get it going. But so, please give me the saw blade launcher for once. I kind of need it. Yeah, got it. Alright, this is kind of a first, and I'm hoping it goes well. But so we're using Git, and it's like, it's awful. It is just not good. And so the developer and the security guys almost want to just throw everything away and start over. Or switch systems. So we finally get that going, and like, they're angry. They're not happy developers. And so eventually one of the developers is like, alright, I'm going to bed. And it's like, but we're supposed to stay up, and he's like, nah, I don't want to do it. So he goes to bed, and so I'm still up doing artwork, and I stayed up for the full 48 hours. I think I would just non-stop arted the entire weekend, which was awesome. But so what happens is he goes to bed, and it's me and the security guy who stays up for a little while longer, at which point I go to bed. And then some of my other friends show up and kind of just keep me company while I did art. And then, I think it was like 4 hours pass, and the security guy wakes back up. Because he's like, you know, I want to keep, you know, working on this. And he was a very motivated dude. And he's like, yeah, I don't need to sleep that much. Well, I'm not seeing that box. I did get experience for it, though. Okay, that is really good. So losing a box down the hole actually gives you experience. Nice. I was always curious about that, and I was always like, no, the box left. But no, it's actually pretty much okay. But so, yeah, I was doing it for 48 hours, and luckily a lot of it was like mouse-based art, which was kind of nice. I did it all in Flash, which is very, very relaxing. Art, if I was painting, I think it would have gone insane. But so eventually the security guy wakes back up, and he's the roommate of the now lead developer, you know, junior game designer guy, who technically had already made his own platformer and stuff, but he's like, let's be honest, one platformer does not an expert make. But the guy was definitely kind of one of those whiz kids, so he was making do, despite the fact that, you know, we were down a whole developer. Now, he wakes up after 9 hours. So, at this point, I have the most amount done. There's no game. It's just, you know, it's just us. And, like, I think you could move left and right, and then things would break horribly. Because, again, nobody knew what they were doing. I think 4 o'clock the next day, you know, full 12 hours after the lead developer went back to bed, or, you know, went home to go to bed, she arrives very hungover because she had the brilliant idea that when she went home, she wasn't that drunk anymore. So she drinks some more before going to bed. So she ended up going to bed at like 9 in the morning, and like, I feel like I'm giving her like maybe too hard of a time, but like, this was kind of in the middle of me slowly realizing that she was not a good person. And so, oh, really? If you're inside one of those, you just die. Well, that is unfortunate. But so she rolls in at like 4, still hungover, and it's just like, wow, you are alright. And at this point, you know, the junior developer has woken up and is just like, alright, you know, I guess I'm just gonna, you know, go to town on this, do whatever I want, because she's not helping. I think at that point we'd given up on Git or something. Nope. But so, junior developer eventually just looks at her, and she's trying to help, but like, it's very obvious that she's working with people's code that she's never seen before. And she really isn't that motivated anymore. Like, she was always one of those people that was like, I have this idea, you people do it for me. Because she was always badgering me about doing a webcomic with me, and it's like, alright, you know, I'm okay with the collaborative stuff, but I'm only okay with doing like a webcomic with somebody if they're actually willing to pull their own weight. And she's like, no, write the ideas for the episodes, you know, the overall plot, and then you flesh it out and make it a thing. And I'm like, so effectively, you want me to make your webcomic for you, and you're not going to pay me anything. And like, she never quite got it, so it's like, alright, never mind. I'll just do my own thing. And I did for like 20 pages, and I was like, webcomics are hard. And like, if I ever go full-time with YouTube, I might actually work on a webcomic, because that would be kind of fun. Probably just televise it all or something. But so, eventually what happens is like, she's trying, and like, kudos for her for like at least trying to stick it out, but she tried for a grand total of like 4 hours before immediately going off to another party, getting shit-faced, rinse, repeat. At which point, you know, the junior developer guy is furious, and his roommate, you know, the security guy, is dead inside. And here I am, you know, happily working on artwork, being like, God, I wish I had reliable people to work with. It was not fun. So eventually, I think it was like 3, 4 in the morning. Due date is 11 a.m. The game developer turns to the other guy and is like, the junior game developer guy turns to his roommate and he's like, fuck this, I'm going to bed. And it's like, but we finally got movement working. Like, we've got level generation. All we need to do is actually have like a trap and like an enemy or something like that. And he's like, nope, going to bed. At which point he slept for the next like 16 hours. Mind you, it already had like a full night of sleep previously. And so eventually it comes time for us to present our project. And so, you know, Party Girl has gone off to, well, had gone off to party. So she wasn't around. And she was shit-faced drunk again. Like, she came back again at, like, super, super late at night to heckle us some more for, you know, not doing what she wanted the project to be. And it's like, you, at this point, you've lost all right to work on this project. And honestly, there's no justice for all of this, apart from the fact that I don't talk to any of these people anymore. But, like, so eventually it comes to me and the security guy being the only people presenting the project, because Party Girl at this point just kind of quit the project, completely, like, just gave up. She never came back and never even talked to us again. Though, there was a little bit more to it later on that was kind of, like, even more kind of injustice as far as I'm concerned, but still. But so, the final time to, like, turn in our thing, because what we were doing was, like, with the school, so the game developer professors were actually there to, like, you know, take a look at people's games and stuff, and a lot of other people had complete crap games, too. Like, even worse than what we had, and we barely had a game. Oh, shoot, there was actually a thing there. Well, too late for it. Oh, please let me dig down. Thank you. But so it's me and the security guy who, honestly, like, he tried his hardest to develop something alongside the junior developer guy, but the junior developer guy was not easy to work with, especially with the whole going to bed super early thing. But so it's just the two of us, because we couldn't even rouse the junior developer guy. He was too tired, and it's like, you got plenty of sleep. I'm like, the two of us, and nope, that didn't matter. So at that point, we did manage to rouse the junior developer just a little bit, because the problem was, we kept working on the game, yes, but we had no idea how to compile a game. I mean, me being an artist, and the security guy being the security guy, so he knew how to program it, no idea how to, like, actually result, or, like, actually export the game. I think it was all in XNA, so C# and XNA, I think it was. But so, had no idea what we were doing. So eventually we wake the developer up, who's, like, super just grumpy and not okay with anything, just to have him export the game, at which point, you know, he kind of half-heartedly does it after about 2 hours of encouragement, and, like, cajoling and bribery and stuff like that. Like, he was totally willing to just let the game sink, just because he was not having a good day, despite, you know, having multiple other team members. And to be fair, the Party Girl did it first, but still, it was not a good experience. So eventually we get the game working on one laptop, drag it all the way across campus, and, you know, neither of us have slept at all, apart from, like, 3 hours on his side. I think when the developer gave up, I actually had stopped just because there's nothing else for me to work on. So I think I got, like, 2 hours of sleep that night. But so we're sitting there, and it's like, can you describe how your game works? And we looked at the game developer, the game dev, like, the dean of the game development department, and just a straight face said, nope, no idea. And, like, it took us about 10 minutes to even get the game to run, because apparently there was, like, this really weird arcane way of doing it. And we also had to, like, bug the developer to give us the password for his computer, because it only worked on his computer, mind you. And so, like, in the end, we kind of got this, like, sad consolation prize of only, ow, ooh. Do not do that twice. Fuck. There we go. But so, oh, what is XNA? XNA was like a kind of development thing. Wow, yeah, that was a crap run anyway. XNA was like a development suite, I think, for like C#. I honestly don't know. Never really messed around with it. I had, like, a lifelong membership as a result of doing this, but still. So we get there, no idea what to do, and eventually we get the consolation prize of, like, well, at least your game looks nice, because all the other games, you know, didn't even have a single good artist on them. I felt really bad as a result of all of it, because it's just, like, on one hand, like, here I am, like, working my heart out, and, like, I guess it's kind of what taught me to never, ever go along. Somebody showed up a while ago. I'm not going to do a new character. I'm going to try N-Type one more time, one more legitimate run, and then I'm probably going to stop. You know, go on to lighter topics that I can end quickly. But so, if you notice, especially when I'm doing, like, art streams, it was a couple months ago, and I never actually dignified the guy with a response, and I probably should have, just to see, like, what kind of game he was making. Ow, dicks. Still can't aim the teleport correctly. But so every once in a while, somebody will like send me an email, and kind of in conjunction with the like party girl wanting to make a webcomic with me, where somebody will send me an email being like, hey, you wanna make a game together? Especially like if I don't know them, it's just like, how, why, no? Question mark? And like, especially if there's no money involved, there's like no easy way for me to like acquiesce to that sort of thing, because like, I don't even know you, and you want me to effectively give you free art so you can have a game. That is not like at all a like reasonable thing to do. And like it's hard to say, because like on one hand I always want to work on like, yeah, I should do more art streams, and I'm kind of sorry I haven't been. They've all been like 3D lately, and I've been watching like tutorial videos with speaking and YouTube and copyrighted stuff, so I can't exactly. This is just garbage. This level generation is awful for this kind of weapon. It would be great if I had the nail gun, not the harpoon launcher. Hell. But so like, I don't know, like on one hand I really want to actually work on a project, and like half the time when I hear of like games being developed, it was like, oh yeah, we just got together and made a game, and it's like, great. How'd you meet each other? How did you know? Like, how did you meet these people that mystically managed to actually make a game before? You know, without like a whole lot of, you know, garbage teamwork issues and, you know, just taking your art and running and stuff like that. Like, how did you actually become a team as opposed to just a collection of individuals that were exploited for X? Come on, give me some health. Thank you. This is at least an okay-ish level. Not great, though. Honestly, this gun's really quite worthless on Entite. And again, I don't like this one at all. Like, it's like the hardest part about being a creative, because, you know, Q13 is mentioning, let's blow up that lamp. Q13 is mentioning, like, some guy wanting, him to do music for free, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Like, the hard part about indie development is, like, there's no guarantee anybody's gonna make any money. And, like, oh, hey, Aqua. I thought you went to bed. But, like, nobody's probably going to make any money for, like, the first couple of indie game projects. It's just a guarantee that everybody is going to do poorly. And, you know, the game's just not going to be good. Everybody's starting out learning how to work together. And so, like, everybody always goes into, like, game design with big dreams and stuff like that. And the problem is, like, you have to temper them. That's kind of a given. But, like, so many developers think that because art is fun, or because it's a good portfolio opportunity, that they can go in and, like, get a creative to go in and be like, hey, yeah, you know, we'll do this together. And I feel like, at the same time, I'm equally guilty. I want to find a developer that will obviously work without pay, because I don't have any money, to make a game. And, like, the problem is you have to meet people in the middle. But unless you know people specifically that are, like, super just motivated about everything, you're just going to end up in a situation where one person is obviously kind of the leading force, and the other person's just kind of the tag-along for whatever reason. And, like, unless you have, like, a specific division of labor schedule or, like, something like that, one person is effectively getting exploited in the process. And it's very hard to, like, say specifically how it's going to work out. Anytime you start a new group, like, that's just a guarantee. Fie on you. I hate this gun. It's awful. It's just the worst. This level generation is atrocious. Like, the moment you take off its body, like, you really do need to snipe the header. It's impossible to fight. Do not like it. But, like, 90% of the time, it's either, you know, one person's effectively trying to exploit the other one for their skills with, like, no expectation. And, like, I think everybody goes into it with good intentions, but it's like, I've gotten multiple messages on, like, oh god, I've gotten multiple messages asking me to do, like, free art. I have multiple friends bother me being like, hey, can you make art for my channel? I'm like, are you paying? And it's like, no. And the answer is, sorry, dude, can't. And, like, I guess people take me as, you know, kind of the unemployed artist. Is like, well, I guess it'll just work for free for, like, portfolio stuff. And it's like, that's not even how it remotely works. And, like, as long as you have a skill valuable to somebody, that's always going to be the case. I have a professor who I talk to every once in a while. I lost a lot of health there. I had a professor who was in charge of kind of like the official program email address at my college, and he actually had it filtered, so any email asking for like students' help making a project would like get put into a specific box. And so what he would do is let's see, let me get up here first. What he would do is put it all in like a specific box and then read it out for everybody to kind of laugh at. Well, there goes that treasure chest. And again, it'll be on the next floor. So, like, it was not infrequent for various people to try and email, you know, a legitimate college program demanding artwork. And not even, like, particularly nicely from the students, you know, being like, oh, this would be a great opportunity for them. Like, you should tell your students to work for me, this, and this. And he'd always ask, well, are you paying? And they'd be like, no, you know, this is an unpaid opportunity where you can, like, develop your skills and stuff like that. And he's like, so effectively, exactly what I already do with them. And, like, he said he used to respond to them. And, like, these are year-old multiple year-old emails to the point where, like, he was just saving them. And, so he was reading the ones off from, like, the 80s, actually. The program had been around for quite a while. Let's leave. That's terrifying looking. But so the program had been around for a while, and so he used to respond just because, you know, you would respond to business emails with some level of, like, you know, decorum and politeness and stuff like that. And after a certain point, he just realized it was going to be the same conversation no matter what year it was. So, you know, these are emails from the 80s, and he showed the box, and it had, like, tens of thousands of emails, just people asking for art from students for their children's books, for their trading cards, for their Hallmark cards and stuff like that. And it's just like, wow, this is just actually comical and kind of sad. Because, like, you'd think if people actually had, like, just the willingness to figure out, like, a business plan and or just pony up a little bit of money, maybe you could actually get something. But usually it's just kind of like trying to find somebody that will follow you without a whole lot of questions just because they're desperate for a job. I mean, to a small degree, I see, like, internships as the same thing. And, like, it really depends kind of on the on the internship. I have friends that, like, really want to go work for Disney. And they're all talking about getting into, like, Disney's summer program or stuff like that. And it's just like, you do realize that, like, you know what? No, scratch that. Working for Disney would be, like, super good regardless. I think part of that is the problem, that there's, like, a lot of unpaid internships that are truly attractive for artists that, like, you know, are a good resume booster, that are a good portfolio booster. And it becomes kind of a problem for people to kind of determine what is beneficial and what isn't. And after a certain point, it's just kind of like, all right, you know, I'm so desperate for a job, an opportunity for me to, like, show off my skills that I'm willing to... Oh, this sucks. This level generation is just so anti-entite, it's not even funny. Oh, I didn't actually know you could... I didn't know you could even blow the ladder parts off on these little worm guys. Can I not die here? I'm trying really hard. If I hit any of those saw blades, we're pretty much screwed. Okay, I can sit. Perfect. Got it. Okay, and we got a volcanic orb. I'm surprised I'm still alive. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to die. Oh well. But I don't know. My thoughts on the matter will probably be changed over the years, but for the most part, I guess I'm just inherently suspicious of anybody that ever seems to want anything from me. Even YouTube-wise, like, I get a lot of like collaboration requests, and it's just like, you probably just want me for my subs. Or like, oh man, I've gotten a lot of, like, collaboration requests from people that are actually a similar size to me, but they have, like, 5 views per video, and it's just like, holy crap, what did you do wrong? Like, where did your audience go? Because I'm gonna circle back to YouTube at this point, seeing as, you know, trying to stay semi-topical, because the moment I die... I switch topic, yeah. Just semi-topical, last piece of advice. If you're ever doing YouTube and stuff like that, if you're getting less than 5% of your overall like subscriber count in views, you're probably doing something wrong and you want to take a look at it. But still, I actually, I will see you guys in the next episode of Cavern Kings, where, you know what, I think I will actually try not doing N-type for once, just because I've been a little bit sick of getting my ass kicked over and over and over again. Because this is fun, but I really hope they patch this game soon so I can actually get, you know, a win with N-type. I really just hope they take out those angel wings and stuff like that, because you don't need extra jumps when you can teleport and can't jump. Either way, though, see you guys in the next episode, and as always, thanks for watching.